Hello and welcome to my September 2013 video game pickups video. Got a lot of games to go through this month, so I'll just get started. I'll start with the 360 games, and I'm going to start with a big one, Some people have been talking about it this month, so yeah, and that's a little game called Grand Theft Auto 5. But yeah, I all the positives, the good reputation this game's been getting is well justified in my opinion, because unlike GTA 4, the like Rockstar have sort of definitely brought the fun factor back with this game that was very much present in the PS2 GTAs like GTA 3, Vice City and San Andreas. I feel like Rockstar took some of that out for at least the main campaign of GTA 4, and I kind of got bored of it after a while. I still beat it, but I just wanted to beat it rather than sort of enjoying the ride. And the 30 to 35 hours I spent with this game, there's been no point where I've been like bored or disappointed at all. And like just the single player alone, I feel like it's the best game that's been released this year so far, at least. I mean, we've still got games like Beyond Two Souls and Watch Dogs and things like that being released very soon. But just the single player alone just tops everything that's been released so far. And we haven't even got to the online portion yet, so I'm very interested to see what that's like. If it's anything like Red Dead Redemption, then yeah, I'll be very happy. Next up, we have Saints Row 4. It's the Commander-in-Chief edition. Now, initially I was going to buy this, but there was a sale at HMV recently for this game and a couple of others, or one of which I'll show in a minute. This one was like for $25. So I was kind of happy to sort of to give it a shot for that price. I mean, I watched a few videos online and liked what I saw, and yeah, I've sort of been playing it co-op with a good friend of mine, and yeah, I absolutely love it. I feel that the whole Saints Row versus GTA thing is kind of moot now, simply because I don't know, because like Saints Row's become like its own thing now. Like before with like Saints Row 1 and to a certain point Saints Row 2, it was sort of trying to rip off GTA in a lot of ways, but with this one it's sort of become its own thing. It's sort of like it's sort of ripping off stuff like Crackdown and Prototype, almost, with like the powers you can use. But that's not a bad thing, if you're gonna like steal ideas for like other games, make it good ones, and the ideas that it has sort of taken from other games has paid dividends, because yeah, this game is absolutely super. I haven't quite beat it yet, but I'm not far off. The only problem I have with this game is like there's a little bit too much focus on side content. When I say that, like missions where your sort of companions in the game want you to do like certain side content, like races or like destruction mini games and stuff like that. And I don't know, I was a little bit disappointed in that. But everything else, like the stuff like obviously the main missions, but also like loyalty missions and things like that, I really enjoyed. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by Saints Row 4. Next up we have Splinter Cell Blacklist, which was also on sale at HMV. I haven't had a chance to play this one simply because I've been trying to beat Saints Row 4 and then sort of moved on to GTA 5. But I will definitely get round to it. I liked Conviction, but I didn't love it. I felt it was a little bit too linear for my taste personally. I prefer like the Hitman games where you can sort of It's a little bit more open to what you can do, but I'm hoping this one's a little bit better than Conviction. But from what I've heard, it seems to be. And finally, on the 360 collection, something very special actually. I was in Cash Converters and I found this for like £8, and some people will sort of look at me and think, "Did you really get this for £8?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And that is the limited collector's edition for Alan Wake. And what it comes with, just bear with me 1 second. First of all, you take the main sort of sleeve here out, and you get like a book style sort of case, and it opens up like so. Inside you have the game itself, soundtrack CD, which is quite good because I actually quite like the soundtrack to Alan Wake, and also a bonus disc which comes with like several sort of making of videos. I know if you install a certain part of the bonus disc, you can have like you can play the game with like developer commentary, which is a nice touch. You know, I like that sort of attention to detail. And also it has its own sort of book, which is pretty funny considering the whole story is about Alan Wake being this sort of writer, and it's sort of yeah, it's also got like its like fake like ghostwriter, I guess you could say. And yeah, it's got an interesting backstory to every like character and stuff like that. And yeah, it's for all this for just like £8. I was just like, what? Why would you sell that for only £8? And I just sort of jumped at the chance before someone else did. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the best bargains I've ever picked up. So yeah, just give me a moment to put this together. There we are. Okay, next up, the only PS3 game I bought. I actually did have this on 360 coincidentally, and that is the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. Now the reason I sort of sold the 360 version, I wasn't too happy with the using the analog stick, and the D-pad on the 360 is just an absolute joke, to be honest. So it just looks like something that was made by a 3-year-old. But yeah, I decided to buy it back. It was only a few quid, and yeah, the D-pad on the PS3 is much better. There's a lot of classics on here, like the Sonic games. My personal favourite Mega Drive game on here is Streets of Rage 2. I absolutely adore that game, but also like stuff like Golden Axe and Kick a Million, Dr. Robotnik's Me Bean Machine, things like that. Yeah, there's a good like variety here. There's a couple of sort of questionable games on here, simply because they were made by Sega and they decided to put them on there. But yeah, for the most part, it's a fantastic collection of Mega Drive games, or Genesis, depending on where you're from. Okay, with the PS2 games, coming back to the whole Splinter Cell thing. I've got Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow and Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Now, I did buy the original last month, so I was trying to find the other two. I know there was another one called Double Agent, but I wanted to sort of stick to like the original ones because I know Double Agent sort of veers off a little bit, almost like the Conviction does. But yeah, I managed to find these for a decent price. I think it was around like to £3 each, so I was pretty happy with that. I'll definitely get around to playing these at some point. I sort of need to play Blacklist first. Right, next up, these were games I actually bought in a charity shop where I work, and yeah, they were sort of sitting in the stock room, funnily enough, and that's Airbrakes and Brothers in Arms and in Blood. Now I know there's Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30. I don't know if this is the sequel or previous game. Not quite sure, but yeah, I got both of these for like £1.50 each. So £3 for both of these. That's not too bad. Yeah, I know Airblade's a launch title. I was always like interested in playing it, but just for whatever reason never got around to it. It's quite short as well, so I'm kind of happy I bought it for cheap. Okay, next up we have SpiderMan 2. Now, I personally, don't get me wrong, I think this game is a very good game. I just feel it's a little bit overrated by some people. It's got a great open world, and the swinging mechanics is fantastic, but I don't know, I just didn't really like a lot of the missions. I thought they were unnecessarily difficult in places. There was one in like a theatre, I believe, where like the camera just went like I'm sort of focusing on the sort of interior missions rather than the exterior ones, which were fine. But the missions that were inside, the camera just goes all over the fucking place, and the controls are a little bit like dodgy in places as well. And I didn't like the sort of side missions where you had to sort of help people out and getting fucking balloons. It's just like I wanted to just destroy those things after a while. 'Cause just like you're in the middle of a mission and you're sort of swinging around having a good time, and then like some kid wants you to get their balloon back. It's like hold on to it, you stupid little brat. But yeah, I enjoy this game. I just feel it's a little bit overhyped than some other games personally. Next up we have Mafia. First Mafia. Now I did play and really enjoyed Mafia 2 on the 360. This one's a little bit more basic in terms of, especially in terms of gunplay. Like there's not really a sort of automatic aiming system. You sort of it's sort of like, think Max Payne without the bullet time and the sort of, I mean you can like roll, but there's no like diving or anything like that. It's just what I would call like a sort of twitch shooter, where you sort of sidestep and like try and kill the enemy before they kill you. And although this game has a lot of flaws, like the loading times are unbearable on this game. They really are. They take like at least a minute or two to load up properly. And the other things like the enemy respawns are just like completely random at times. Well, to me it was anyway. But despite all that, I kind of enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the story and the soundtrack, and like in some places the voice acting, some places a little bit wonky, other times it sort of fits really well. And yeah, I thought it was, you know, a decent effort for a PS2 sort of open world Mafia game. It wasn't perfect, but yeah, despite its flaws, I actually kind of enjoyed it, and sort of the way it ends sort of moves on nicely to the sequel, which improved on this game a lot. But it's not bad, you know. I only got it for a couple of quid, so I thought for that price, it's, you know, it was worth a shot, and I'm glad I took the chance. Okay, that's it for part 1 of this video. Stay tuned for part 2. We've got a couple more PS2 games, a lot of PS1 games, and a DS game. So yeah, stay tuned.